going to do a little work with transparent images in 3D Max. I pulled this little fish off the internet, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull him into 3D Max in just a little while, and we're going to make his fins partially transparent. The way we're going to do this, we're first going to take away the background here. So I got the magic wand tool selected, set it on 20 so that we just get the background. I'm going to delete that background. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to set this up to 100 so that I can select my whole fish and I can hold down my shift and just with a couple clicks I can get the entire fish selected. I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to use my paint bucket tool to draw white over everything. I'm going to unselect it. Now we're going to use this picture as the actual picture in 3D Max, what the viewer sees. We're going to use this picture as a map so that it tells it 3D Max where we want to see the picture and where we want to see transparency. The way we're going to tell it where transparency is we're going to set a gray color. We're going to select our pen tool. I've selected over here something that fades out. That looks fine. And 20 pixels is fine. So we're going to paint everywhere we want it to be semi-transparent. Before we do that, I'm going to select our fish again so I don't go outside of these boundaries. And we'll just simply paint in where these transparencies are going to go. Alright, once you're happy with that, we're going to save each layer individually. So I'm going to create a new file just to make it a little easier. And I'll send this layer over to our new file. We'll have to stretch out everything here. Alright, what we're going to do next is we're going to crop it down and we're going to try to get it as close to the actual fish as we can. And we're going to create a new file with the same dimensions. We'll paste that on there. I'm going to delete this layer so that we just have our fish. So now we have our fish, our white fish, and our picture of the fish. And I'm going to reduce the size of this. This fish and this fish are actually the same size. It was just one was zoomed in, one wasn't. The last thing we want to do before we move over to 3D Max is we want to paint this background black. So in each one we're going to use our magic wand tool. Take our paint bucket and paint it black. So I'm going to go save this as two different files and then we'll come right back into 3D Max and we'll go from there. Alright, we're back in 3D Max. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box, and this box is just going to serve as something for us to see behind our fish to make sure we have that transparency set right. So we'll color it something that we can see easily. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a plane that we're actually going to put the fish on. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up our materials map by hitting M. The first thing we're going to do is click on diffuse color. We're going to select bitmap. Then we're going to go find our picture. Now I have two different pictures here. The bait pick is the actual picture of the fish itself, and the bait normal map is the picture we made white with the gray for the semi-transparency. So first we're going to pick this bait pick. We're going to apply that picture to the plane. Click Show Shaded Material. And we're going to click our Go to Parent. Come back down to the opacity. And this time we're going to click this bait normal map. And that's our normal map. That's our regular. So in order to see what's going on here, we're going to have to render it. We're going to pull this over so that our box is showing, or should show through our fins here. We'll zoom in so we can see what's going on. We'll render. And if you'll notice, you can see the box through the fins where we had painted gray.